Well, hello again, friends and family. I wanted to chat with you a bit here. We're out here on the front porch, about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Something popped up in my news feed from my browser this morning. Rather interesting. Now, I had some watering to do, like always. It's the height of August. Had some planting to do, so I really couldn't dig into it at that moment. But now, since the heat of the day, in the mid-90s, I thought I'd take you on in with me, sit you down at the desk, and see what we can find out about it. This may well explain why we're seeing some of the shortages, especially in the canned food section. So with that said, I'm going to take you on in, and let's see what it's all about. Now, I would like to add, when I did come in from watering and planting this morning, I noticed several viewers from my previous video had also mentioned it. So I think it's something worth looking into and letting all of y'all know about. So stay with me. Okay, y'all, got you in here at computer screen with me, sitting on the desk. And this is what I saw this morning while I was drinking my coffee. Like I said, I really didn't have much time to dig into it. This is from food processing. And it's an information source for food and beverage manufacturing producers. And you can see right over here on industry news, this came out on today, 23rd of August, Del Monte to close 4 plants. So I clicked on it. And it says right here, Del Monte Foods has announced plans to shutter facilities located in 4 states. As part of an ongoing trend rooted in declining consumer interest in canned fruits and vegetables. The company will close plants in Sleepy Eye, Minnesota and Mendota, Illinois by the end of this year. Also due to be shut down are facilities in Crystal City, Texas and Cambria, Wisconsin. Production will be transferred to the remaining 6 North American facilities of Del Monte Foods, the American arm of Del Monte Pacific Limited. And it states, that it's going to be 200 full-time and more than 600 seasonal employees will be affected. So that's what I saw right there. Then I thought I'd dig into it a little bit closer. And I come up with this. This is from Fox Business. And it was published on August 21st. Del Monte to close 2 U.S. plants, lay off hundreds. And right here it says, Del Monte Foods said this week it will close 2 of its U.S. production facilities in a move that will mean layoffs for hundreds of workers. The Sleepy Eye, Minnesota and Mendota, Illinois facilities will be closing at the end of the current vegetable packing season, according to a press release. That's expected to be in late October, the Star Tribune reported. During peak season, the plant in Illinois employs 550 workers, while the plant in Minnesota employs up to 400 workers, according to Fox Business News. So, when I came in today from watering and planting, I also had some viewers from my previous videos, last one I did, also share some sites with me that had popped up and they wanted me to be aware of. So we'll head on over here and we'll look right over here at the comments. We'll go down here to the first one, give them a little shout out. Campfire Cover Versions sent me this link right here, and that's this one right here from CBS News. And it says here, Del Monte Foods is closing 2 manufacturing plants and selling 2 others, affecting more than 800 jobs. The company executives are streamlining its domestic production amid headwinds that include the U.S. tariffs on China and rising metal costs. Now, as you can tell from the other article, it said because of declining customer demand. Now, here CBS News is blaming tariffs, but I'm not getting into the politics of all this. But anyway, food manufacturers laid off nearly 16,000 workers in the first 7 months of the year, up 85% from a year ago, and the highest total for the sector in that period since 2009, according to the outplateness firm Challenger, Gray and Christmas. Separately, the company is selling a facility in Cambria, Wisconsin, like we said, that employs about 35 people and as many as 280 seasonal workers, as well as manufacturing assets at its plant in Crystal City, Texas, where 120 people work full-time and another 300 are seasonal employees. This decision has been difficult and has come after careful consideration. Joe Soledo Campos, Managing Director and CEO of Philippines-based Del Monte Pacific, said in a news release, "This restructuring is a necessary step for us to maintain competitive in a rapidly changing marketplace." But here, unlike the other articles, blames it on tariffs. But then I had another viewer send me this link right here, which is from the Star Tribune. Del Monte to close Sleepy Eye plant, lay off all workers. Just days after Sleepy Eye wrapped up its buttered corn days, the company that donates all of its sweet cocks for the annual summer festival announced plans to shutter the local canning plant, laying off all full-time and seasonal workers with it. So the California-based company has scheduled the closure for on or around October 21st, with all 69 full-time jobs and 294 seasonal positions will be eliminated. Layoffs will begin as soon as October 2nd and be staggered through next June as the plant finishes any remaining labeling, shipping, and administrative work needed to close. This closing is part of a broader decision by Del Monte's parent company, Singapore-based Del Monte Pacific Limited, to sell or close many of its U.S. assets. In addition to its plant in Sleepy Eye, the company will end production at its Mendota, Illinois plant and sell its facilities in Cambria, Wisconsin, and Crystal City, Texas. And they say here the production will be moved to Del Monte's remaining U.S. plants. Now, let's stop right there and think about that. As we've seen, they're closing 4 plants, and they're going to be able to shift that production to the remaining 6 plants. So to me, what that tells me, folks, is we're not growing enough vegetables to keep all these plants running. What do you think? That's what it would tell me. And as all of y'all have seen, and all of y'all have commented, well, at least 99.9% of you, you've seen the out-of-stock conditions at Walmart, Kroger, Safeway, Myers, and Costco, Target, and what have you, all over this country. And with the Great Value brand, the next brand mentioned most often has been Del Monte, with the third brand being Libby's. Now, they're closing down 4 of their plants, but they're able to move that production to their 6 remaining plants. That would tell me that the sum total of 10 plants was nowhere near full production capacity. And why would that be? Because we're just not growing the vegetables to do it, folks. And we're going to dig into that a little bit deeper, as you know I would. Because, you know, I've showed you in past videos, the number of farms has declined significantly. Number of acres planted has declined significantly over the years, as well as number of acres harvested in the vegetable category, whether it was fresh, processed, or frozen. You'll have to watch my previous videos in the Food Crisis series to understand it all. And as always, I provide links, and I will be providing all these links as well that we're using in this video. Now, something I didn't say when we were looking at this Fox Business News article, or I may have said and I just now forgot it, But the company previously closed plants in North Carolina, Indiana, California. Of course, they went through a recall in December 2018 involving more than 64,000 cases of Fiesta corn, according to the News Tribune. So, right there is plants North Carolina, Indiana. Of course, we all know California is a major producer of vegetables for the United States, and so is North Carolina. I was unaware of Indiana. So that right there is 5 states, not 4, but 5. California, Indiana, North Carolina, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. I'm not sure how many they're going to have left, if any at all. So let's take a look. Like I said before, if they can transfer the production from all these facilities to the remaining facilities, then the remaining facilities they have weren't anywhere near full production either. And of course, as we know, or should know, when a company does this, it's to cut cost, either based on consumer demands not there, or the company's in trouble. So let's take a look at what's possibly driving this. Okay, y'all, we've come on over here to the USDA website. That's the United States Department of Agriculture. And what we're going to look at first is the Census of Agriculture from the state of Minnesota, since it's the Sleepy Eye, Minnesota plant that Del Monte is closing come October. And what you're going to do, you're going to scroll on down here, and we'll just keep scrolling until we find it, hopefully. And I think we passed it. Here it is right here, table 36. Vegetables, potatoes, melons harvested for sale 2017. Click right there. And then we come here to table 36. And I'm going to increase this some for you right now where you can see it. And you should be able to see it right there. There we have it. So here we are, table 36. Vegetables, potatoes, and melons harvested for sale 2017 through 2012. And you can see here, this is total harvested. Vegetables harvest for sale right here. And they had a total of farms that were producing vegetables for sale 2,840. And that comprised 212,000 acres, 474. Of that 2,840 farms, 1,257 of them harvested for processing vegetables. And that was a total acreage of 183,892 acres. Now when you come over here to take a look at the 2012 total harvested, now this is total farms against total farms for 2017. It doesn't break it down for fresh or for processed. But in 2012 there was 2,623 different farms. And you can see over here there's actually more farms in 2017. But the acreage back in 2012 was 227,641. It was only 212,474 in 2017. So the total acreage harvested has significantly declined in the state of Minnesota for the vegetables harvested for sale. So we're going to drop on down here where we can take a look at some things. And as y'all know, green beans have been an issue in the canned good aisle. And in 2017, for beans, snap, bush and pole, 529 total farms, 4,465 acres. Now, only 32 of those in 2017 produced snap beans for processing. and that was a total acreage of 4,005 acres. Now, in 2012, they had 469 total farms at 5,252 acres. Here again, total acreage between 2012 and 2017 has fell off by around 800 acres. Not an extreme amount. Then we're going to head on down. We're going to take a look at peas, green, right here. Total harvested farms, 2017 was 697 farms, 44,463 acres. Of those 697, 536 of them harvested for processing at 44,410 acres. Pretty much the majority. Now, the farms, total number of farms in 2012 was 937 farms. That's a significant decrease. And the total acreage back in 2012 for green beans was 57,808 acres. Now, if you look at a small, insignificant amount of peas that were harvested fresh against the peas that were harvested for processing, you can see 99.9% of all acreage on farms that grew peas was for processing. So you can consider the same thing happened in 2012. Now, that's over 13,000 acre drop in acres harvested. That's significant. But we'll check one last thing. We'll look at sweet corn. Sweet corn, total farms producing sweet corn was 1,531 for a total acreage of 107,955 acres. Farms that were producing for processed sweet corn was 985 at 104,508 acres. Back in 2012, total number of farms was 1,658 for a total acreage of 106,858 acres. So there was actually more total acreage planted in sweet corn in 2017 than 2012. Well, actually, as you can see, there was a small reduction in sweet corn acreage harvested in 2017 by up 3,400 acres. Here again, not significant, but based on the acreage lost here, the acreage lost on peas, and the acreage lost on beans, it adds up. And if you'd like, and I'm not going to do that and bore you right now, you can look through each crop. I'll be leaving a link to how you can get to this on the video description below. And you can go through all the numbers if that's what you'd like to do. But it's obvious to say there's been a decline in number of farms and a decline in the amount of acreage harvested between 2012 and 2017. To me, that's probably what's driving Del Monte's decision to close the plant in Sleepy Eye, Minnesota. This will be the actual USDA site that I will be leaving for you. And all you have to do is at this site, down here, find data and reports by, you select the state. Now we already looked at Minnesota, so now we're going to look at Illinois. Right there. And it's going to bring you over to this screen. Right here. Then what you're going to want to look at is the Census of Agriculture for Illinois. Then it brings you to this screen You're going to click here on the state. It's going to bring you to this screen, which you've already seen when we were looking at Minnesota. You're going to scroll on down till you come to vegetables. Hopefully it won't go by it this time. Right here, table 36. It's always going to be table 36. Click on the PDF. And we'll blow it up a little bit here for you so y'all can see it. Now, this is vegetables, potatoes, melons harvested for sale 2012 through 2017 for Illinois. And number of farms in Illinois in 2017 was 1,504. Total acreage was 61,408. Of that 1,504 farms, 371 of those harvested for processing, at a total acreage of 46,462 acres. Back in 2012, there were 1,370 farms, and the total acreage harvested was 71,946 acres. Now, understand, that's total acres of vegetables harvested for sale, not just for processing. Always bear that in mind. They don't break it out by fresh market and processing. But it's fair to say that the majority of the 71,946 acres in 2012 was for processing, since the majority of acres in 2017 was. You can see that right here. Fresh vegetables harvested was only 14,946 against 46,462 for processing. I'm sure about the same scenario existed here in 2012. So then again, we'll go down here and look at snap beans. 372 total farms, 7,449 acres. 59 of those 372 farms harvested green beans for processing. Of that, acreage was 6,862 acres out of that total 7,449. Back in 2012, at 435 total farms harvesting vegetables at a total acreage of 8,468. Here again, the difference between 2012 acreage harvested, number of farms, and total farms harvested and number of acres. It might not seem like much, but that's 1,000 acres. And like I say, if you want to, you can read down through here and you can see there's been declines in almost every category. Same way in Minnesota. This video is going to get long enough as it is. Now we'll come down to green peas. In 2017 they had 132 farms, 5,496 acres harvested. 75 of the 132 farms was harvested for processing green peas at 5,078 acres. Pretty much the majority of the acreage that they harvest in vegetables. Back in 2012, they had 137 farms. So the difference in farms isn't that much less between 2012 and 2017. It's only 5. However, look at the acreage difference. 10,214 acres in green peas for 2012 against only 5,496 acres in 2017. Nearly a 50% reduction in acreage planted out for green peas, which the 99% was for green peas for harvesting, or for processing, excuse me. Come on down here and look at the sweet corn. They had 503 farms. Total acreage was 13,000 804. Out of that, 503 farms, 130 of them harvested sweet corn for processing at 9,941 acres. Back in 2012, total farms was 540 with a total acreage of 8,227 acres. 2017 total acreage for sweet corn was only 13,804 acres. Now, that's over a 5,000 acre drop. Here again, when you add up the sweet corn acreage drop, green peas, and green beans, and if you go down through here and look at the rest of the numbers, you'll see more declines for other vegetables than you will see increases. So to me, here again, that tells me why Del Monte made the decision to shut down their Mendota, Illinois plant. But we're going to look at one more state, and we'll look at the state of Wisconsin, okay? So we're back to this screen, and we'll select a state. And we come here again we want a census of agriculture for Wisconsin. This screen will hit the state, and we're going to come on down to vegetables, potatoes, and melons, table 36. Click on the PDF, kick it up a notch there so y'all can see it. Now, vegetables harvested for sale. Wisconsin got a lot of farms, 3,157. A lot of acreage planted in vegetables, 251,094 acres. Of that 3,157 farms, only 832 harvested for processing vegetables. But that comprised 193,180 acres, which is the majority of the 251,094 acres of all farms harvested. But when we go back and look at it, in 2012, they didn't have as many farms. They only had 2,873 farms. But total acreage for vegetables harvested was 288,528 acres. Now, that's over 37,000 acre decline since 2012 to 2017. That is significant. And the Cambria, Wisconsin plant is not the only canned vegetable processing plant in Wisconsin. So here again we'll come down, look at snap beans. They had 986 farms that harvested 63,842 acres. Of that, 369 of those 986 farms harvested for canned processing green beans. Acreage was 62,682 acres. Nearly, well, a little over 1,000 acres less than the total acreage harvested for all green beans. You can see, well, right here it is, 1,160 acres were harvested for fresh. So the majority of the acreage in Wisconsin harvested for green beans for harvesting, the majority of acreage harvested for processing green beans. It's clear to see that the majority of the acreage is harvested for processed green beans. Now, back in 2012, they had 1,031 farms. Okay, that's 45 less now in 2017, but the acreage was 71,396 acres. That's about 9,000 and some acres less. We'll go down here and we'll look at the green peas. They had 512 farms, 22,029 acres harvested. 208 of those farms harvested 21,855 acres. Here again, nearly the majority of acreage harvested for green peas was for processing. Back in 2012, there was 540 farms, but the acreage was 37,162 acres. Now that's significant, folks. Right there is 15,000 acre decline between 2012 and 2017 just in green peas. But we'll come on down here to sweet corn. They had 871 farms, 56,615 acres harvested total. 212 of those farms harvested 51,792 acres. Here again, they're harvesting the corn for processing. Now, not so much for fresh. But back in 2012, they had 966 total farms. 2017, only 871. So they've lost 95 farms. But here again, it's the acreage drop. 78,245 acres were harvested in sweet corn in Wisconsin in 2012. It's nearly a 22,000 acre decline in 5 years. And if you add that acreage, that's declined with the green peas, that declined significantly. And up here with the green beans, they've lost a lot of acreage. So, probably only makes sense to go ahead and sell off the Cambria, Wisconsin plant if they can. But my point to this is looking at Minnesota's decline in processing vegetables, looking at Illinois, looking now at Wisconsin's. All three states are declining in vegetable production. All three states have plants closing. And if you want to look at the other states where, like the Fox Business News article said, Del Monte had already closed plants in North Carolina, Indiana, and California. And you can go right here to this website, and we'll just back out so you can see it again. This website right here, put in the state, and we'll just do it quickly for you again. This is for California, Census of Agriculture for California. Click on that. It's going to bring you over here. Click on the state, come down to table 36. And you can see the condition of California's vegetable industry. I mean, just quickly, you can see Total number of farms harvested 2017 was 4,868. Total acreage was 1,170,573 acres. Out of that, only 942 of those 4,868 farms harvested for processing. And only out of that over 1 million acres, 300,299 were harvested for processing. Back in 2012, they had total farms that harvested vegetables of 6,055 farms. Here again, a significant drop between 2012 and now the latest year we have data for, 2017. Now acreage didn't drop off that much. As you can see, it was 1,175,249 acres in 2012. It only dropped off less than 5,000 acres. That, since you see the number of farms decline, that just means farms consolidated and got bigger. But quickly here, you can look at snap beans. 753 total farms, 7,519 acres right here. 80 of those 753 farms harvested for processing green beans, 2,118 acres. Now, snap bean production, number of farms was 652 in 2012, 753 in 2017, but the acreage was 9,419 acres in 2012, and it's down to 7,519 acres in 2017. 1,900 acre drop. Here again, it's not massive. But you can look over all the stats if you'd like to look at your state. You can do that as well. Maybe you're interested in that. I sort of am, and I will once I finish up this video. But this is the site right here, and this is the link I'll be leaving you. So if you want to look up your state, like I live in Alabama, you just click there. It's going to take you right over to it. And my point being, folks, this is the data. Now I've searched, and I have searched high and low, and did all kinds of queries on the USDA site for 2018 vegetable production data. I can find it nationally, but we've already discussed that in a previous video. But I can't find it by state. Either they haven't got around to updating the website yet, or they haven't put all the data together. So I can't see the 2018, but if you take a look at what's happened in vegetable production in America between 2012 and 2017, it's clear to say it's in steady decline. And as I showed you in a previous video, vegetable imports coming into America have been increasing since the 1990s, and now are at levels of approaching 400% or more. Now some have said that's because we have different tastes, whatever. Well, I don't know that to be true. I'm sure it is because we have more ethnic groups and we're exposed to more, but I'm sure that's not the entire situation. But bear in mind, it just isn't the Sleepy Eye, Minnesota plant that's closing, or the Mendota, Illinois. Del Monte's already closed plants in North Carolina, Indiana, California, don't know how many. And that, there's 5 states right there. Now bear in mind, Del Monte's already closed plants in Minnesota and Illinois, or will be come October 21st, plants in Illinois and Minnesota. But they previously closed plants in North Carolina, California, and Indiana. They're selling the Cambria, Wisconsin plant, so there's 6 states affected right there. But even worse, they've already announced that they're going to be selling off their plant in Crystal City, Texas. That makes 7 different states in the U.S. where we have vegetable production, but Del Monte is either closing the canning plants or they're selling them. And then don't forget that Seneca, which cans processed vegetables in Rochester, New York, closed their cannery last year in September of 2018. So there's 8 states where vegetable canneries will be closed. 5 are closed already, or about to be once they're sold. And who knows if anybody will buy the Cambria, Wisconsin plant or the Crystal City, Texas plant. I hope for the people's sake that work there, somebody does. But looking at the decline in vegetable production in America, I wouldn't get my hopes up too much. Well, folks, I hope you learned something tonight. And like I said, I'll leave the links for you below this in the video description to the Fox News article, the Star Tribunes, and the CBS News article, as well as this website where you can come and you can check the data for yourself. Fact check me if you want. Or, if you're curious, you can see what vegetables are produced in your state and how much. It may surprise you. I know I'm going to be looking at the state of Alabama once I shut this video down and get it edited. Folks, until we see you next time on the next video, I want y'all to take care, stay safe, and prepare as you see fit. That's why I do this. Well, I do it for my kids and my friends and family, but I do it for all of y'all too. Stop in, sit a while and watch, so you can make an informed decision of what you're going to do for yourself, your family, children, and friends as well. So y'all take that, run with it however you wish. Like I say. And with that, folks, I just want to wish you all of God's blessings. And hopefully we can turn this around. But I got another video coming up that the date on it doesn't look like we got a chance in turning farming around in America anytime soon. So, with that said, good night and goodbye for now.